Good afternoon, Tony Dottino back with you on Wednesday. I thought I was going to get with you on Monday, but I was in travel mode, could not get an internet connection. So sorry I missed that, but I'm back with you on Wednesday. We had our qualifying event on Saturday to find our finalists for this year's USA Memory Competition, and we are on our way for September 23rd here in Full Sail University in Winter Park, Florida. So September 23rd, we'll be doing our next event. We have got our 12 finalists. Check out the USA Memory Championship website to stay up to date with how that's going along. But we're now working towards that. And today's topic is one you've heard me talk about over and over again. But what I liked about this, some of the details of it, comes out of the May issue of Science Focus magazine, and it's the mental health issue. What a great issue this is turning out to be. And one of the things that I've talked about is mental health is other people. Mental health is other people. And what it really started to talk about is as you talk to other people, we talk about body, we talk about our physical fitness, we talk about our nutritional and our eating habits, but do we talk about mental fitness? Do we talk about the things that we can be doing to maintain connection in our community and the things that make us feel like we are a part of a larger group of people? Research shows that group-based social connections rather than individual connections seem to be the most important for cognitive health. Research continues to show that as belonging to a church or working on a community garden is an effective treatment for depression. Whoa, who would stop to think of depression and people with different mental disorders, that being a part of a community or a church group would make a world of difference. So they studied 4,000 adults over 6 years. And what they found is not only did joining a group alleviate symptoms of depression and reduce the risk of a relapse, it protected against any future possibility of depression. I mean, think about this. Community groups, all communities have senior groups, they have school groups, they have professional groups. They think of the days of the Elks Club, Chamber of Commerce is what I'm trying to come up with, Veterans Club, just bringing people together with various activities, with various community spirits that align people to work as teams and with one another. I just found this fascinating. Research, yeah, if I can get that word out, research shows that group-based social connections are the most important factor for maintaining cognitive health. Wow. So you've heard me talking about this over the last 6 months or so, social interaction, but the research that's in this issue of Science Focus, the mental health issue, is extraordinarily powerful. What they were saying is that, what was interesting is they talk about close friends. How many people could you pick up the phone and call if you had an emergency or you had something so pressing and so crucial that do you have a list of at least 4 people? Can you at least talk about relationships where you can maintain them at a similar time? And can you at least have 4? So some psychology professor, Robin Dunbar, has basically said about 4 is about the maximum number of intimate personal relationships that you can really maintain at a given point in time. Now, I don't know where the 4 comes from and whether it's 5 or 6 or 2 or 3, but who are the people that you most confide in, that you can come back to and share things with? Do you have somebody in your life that you can rely on, depend? But here's what I specifically liked in this particular article, and as we said earlier, right, community and building, community gardens or things that bring the communities together. Sometimes I'm sorry to say they're crime watch committees and groups of people that finally say enough. But conversations with strangers, they talked about it. So how do you make some new connections, right? So here was a part of it that talked about how do you start up a conversation with strangers. Psychologists have some useful pointers for how to strike up a conversation with someone you don't know. And I practice this all the time. In our workshop we're doing, the brain fitness workshop that we do, we have what we call every 2 weeks a mystery guest. Somebody comes in, and the people in the workshop have to look at the person and think about 5 questions that they would want to ask this person as a way of introducing a new connection in their life and getting a new story. So here's the first one. Now, I didn't like the word they used here, though. It's choose your target wisely. I would say choose your interaction wisely. Talking to someone with a dog or a baby is somehow acceptable. So if you see somebody walking a dog or you see somebody pushing a carriage or whatever, now again, depends on where you live. I was just up in New York City and walking along some of the streets in New York City and stopping to talk to people. They kind of look at you like you're some kind of weirdo. So depends on where you're located. Here in the Windermere, Florida area, when I go to the grocery store, I go for pizza or Chinese food, I can talk to people and they tend to be much more friendly. So again, it depends on where you're going, but choose somebody that's wise. In my neighborhood, there's dog walking all the time, so you can find people walking the dog. And if you're lucky, the dog is friendly and you get even to pet the dog and start a conversation. Now, what do? Well, you want to select the right topic. The weather is obviously a classic. The space you're in is another opener. I don't talk to people while I'm waiting in a queue because we're waiting for the same thing. Or I often talk. I talk to people waiting on a line. If you're waiting on a checkout line, you're waiting in a grocery store, you're waiting in a movie theater, you're waiting to go to a ball game or something, and there's people online in a queue. Just talk to people. What do you think about this wait? What do you think about this, what we're going to see? Or what do you think about these groceries and things? What do you think about inflation? You talk to people sitting next to a concert or a movie theater before the movie starts. When you talk about different things of that sort, it's think about what the topic is that you want to feel that's what I call safe. I don't think we want to talk about politics and different parties and different investigations. So I do recommend from people, you can stay away from politics. Maybe you can talk about some of the concerns that you may have in terms of your life and their work and inflation and things of what they're costing. Maybe you can find out, does anybody know where I can go find another apartment that's not so expensive? There are different things you can step back and talk about that are safe. Next, you want to ask someone a question. At a coffee shop, you may ask the server what they recommend, or simply tap into your own curiosity. You'll see people wearing a T-shirt, maybe, as I said, there'll be something about them that say, "Oh, I really love your hairstyle. I really like the way that shirt fits." I saw someone at a hospital this morning, and he had a T-shirt on, and I said, "Gee, can you explain what that T-shirt phrase is all about and how you came to buy that?" And again, people, if you ask the safest questions, people don't look at you like they want to hit you. They actually look at you and say, "Wow, that's interesting that somebody has asked that question." And of course, your body language wants to be neutral as well, and that you're just engaging in a pleasant, friendly conversation with someone. And then don't expect the worst. Conversations tend to go better when you expect that all things will go in a positive way. And the things that we worry about often don't happen. And so, you can even talk to somebody and say, "Gee, you look like I say this to people sometimes. It's amazing the answers I get back. I say, "Look, it looks like you're carrying the world on your shoulders. My God, I hope it's something that, is going to pass quickly." You don't have to ask them what that is, but you just say, "Gee, I hope that it'll pass quickly and you won't look like you're carrying such a burden on your back," or things. People have never, ever found if you step back and think of these 4 things. So first of all, who are you wanting to talk to? You want to make it look like it's somebody that's not in a hurry, like just get out of here and don't bother me. What do you want to talk to them about? And always either a shirt, you can compliment them. We saw somebody this morning, we complimented them on their glasses, and the next thing they say, "Well, God, look at it. Where did you get those glasses?" And they find out where they got their glasses is no longer at Costco, they go to Walmart. They had a nice optometry department there. I found out, wow, I think I'll go get my next pair of glasses at Walmart's. think of the questions, like, where did you get those glasses? They look lovely in terms of how they seem to fit perfectly on your face. And then when you do talk to someone, expect it to be a pleasant conversation. And think of something you might be wanting to share with them as well. That just keeps it as a pleasant. Have you seen a good movie lately? Have you watched one of the TV programs on it? America's Got Talent, right? So many millions of people watch it. Have you ever seen America's Got Talent? Did you like an act that you saw on the show this past week? Sports teams, you know, did you see that Yankee game again? They don't seem to be able to score any runs. How about your team? Do you root for baseball, or do you prefer football, or are you a non-sport person? I mean, there's just so many things that we can talk about with people that are fun conversations that engage them in dialogue, and more importantly, from the mental health point of view, make connections in your life that make a difference. We shall see you back here on Friday. We're at the midweek point, and have a good rest of your week.